What's going on, everybody? It is I, Jacob Moore, the self-proclaimed sports analyst, joined by the man wearing the Ticats hat.
I know.
Mr. Moore, for your money.
Kind of crazy to do, but hey, could be 1999, and downtown Hamilton could be eating Renoir as they did clinch home field and the bye for the Easter Conference yesterday. Montreal is not getting it. The best Montreal can finish is second.
So Montreal is guaranteed now to finish second in the East.
Okay, well, there you go. We're guaranteed to finish second in the East.
But I find it very interesting, and obviously we're in our final two games of the CFL season before we hit the playoffs. And I was a little surprised about Winnipeg at first. I mean, now obviously Winnipeg, I don't believe they can finish any higher than...
I called it. I said the Blue Bombers are making the playoffs.
The only reason why the Blue Bombers made the playoffs is because Toronto and Edmonton came off to really bad starts this year.
Doesn't matter if they still made it. I called it they would make it, and they did. And now that they're here, anything can happen when Timothy goes to school.
But actually, no, crazy enough, Winnipeg could still get home field in the playoffs, which is why I'm shocked the way they have been choosing to put out their roster for today's game. Because if they win and BC loses, they get home field.
Well, I thought TSN said it was impossible.
Ontario Wilson, Zach Collaros, Brady Oliveira, Nick Dembski.
I thought TSN said it was impossible when we get home field. They did.
No, they said it was impossible for Calgary to be a crossover.
No, that's not what we said, buddy.
I'm not going to argue with you, Dan, but...
Okay. You want to be live on air? Go ahead.
It's an interesting situation in Winnipeg, but even before that last game, right? Winnipeg has already put out their roster, and they still went like, "No, we're not going to be putting out our best team today."
Nah, B. Which is surprisingly because
you are right, Dan. Actually, Winnipeg cannot finish any higher than third.
Well, I know. I was trying to argue with you, but try to help you make.
But are you saying that you think Winnipeg would rather face Montreal than Calgary or BC?
Yeah, I would. I get Alexander hasn't lost a game in the regular season, which is fine and dandy. But it's a 50-50. Alexander's never played in the playoffs. You know VA steps it up in the playoffs. You know Calgary's going to step up in the playoffs. You know BC's going to step up in the playoffs. What you don't know is Nathan York. He has a tendency of falling apart under big pressure games. So you either want, in my opinion, BC or Montreal because of those situations.
Now, my question for you, though, is how hard do you think Winnipeg plays today, knowing they're not getting a home playoff game this year?
I think the backup players will play hard because...
The game is in Winnipeg again.
What?
The game is in Winnipeg.
I think backup players will play hard because Winnipeg is an aging group, right? They only let Adam Big Hill go, which as we're learning now is a big mistake. I called that one. Zach Collaros is getting older. Brady Oliveira spent a lot of time there. I think depending what happens this playoff one, this offseason could be a lot of movement for Winnipeg. So the guys who don't have a starting spot at the moment want to show Michael say that, hey, we want a chance next year. So, yeah, I think they will play hard. And also, they want to be in confidence just in case, God forbid, someone gets injured for the playoff game. But, like, hey, we can put these guys in and not be too upset. So, yeah, I think they will play hard. Like, I was surprised how hard Edmonton played last night, to be honest with you, because I'm looking at it. I'm Edmonton.
I thought Edmonton played great last night. Just some more house cleaning. The Ottawa Redblacks have fired Bob Dice. However, Sean Burke is returning as general manager, according to Third Down Nation, to the Ottawa Redblacks. So they are not changing course there, but they are changing. I guess
he's tired of being a goalie coach in Utah.
Also, Montreal Alouettes have changed course, and they have decided to start MBT instead of Davis Alexander today. I think that makes a lot of sense.
I do, too.
If you remember, if Hamilton had lost yesterday, a Montreal win would have given them first in E, so you would have needed to start Alexander.
For sure.
I think you're going to see a lot of other players who were expected to start. Maybe they'll play, but they won't play very much.
Right. I agree with that.
Which is interesting, though. Originally, Jason Moss was adamant that they were going to play Alexander either way. But now,
but it didn't make sense.
But now,
MBT hasn't played in a couple of weeks. He's a little older. You want to keep him loose just in case. Like I said, what if Alexander struggles in his first playoff start? Right?
Or
then you might want to put MBT in, who's won Grey Cups.
Or if he gets hurt, especially if they're playing a Winnipeg defense that really likes to blitz the quarterback.
For sure, yeah.
Willie Jefferson would do anything to make it. Well, do anything to, and maybe this is the thing too. Does Montreal really want to give Winnipeg one more look at Davis Alexander before the playoffs? Probably not.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, too.
Because I honestly believe that Winnipeg will end up being the crossover team. Because Saskatchewan is playing BC today. A BC win gives them second in the West, I believe. Yes, it does. You're currently tied with Calgary, and you're playing a Rough Rider team that is not starting all their starters. So you should be able to win that game.
I would think so. But then again, Jake Maier has looked pretty good in his couple games as a Rough Rider.
Yeah, I think the Rough Riders are starting some starters. I'm just pulling up their depth chart now.
Well, we know Trevor Harris is getting night off for sure. Probably OJ Olette's getting the night off, I would imagine.
Well, let me take a little look-see, and I will share it on the screen because there are some surprises here. Because this is the game that's more interesting out of the two coming up on the season finale.
For sure.
Trevor Harris is getting a start at quarterback.
Really?
I guess they don't want him taking that many days off.
Oh, boy.
AJ Olette is getting the start at running back, but I don't expect to see a lot of him. I think Harris, he probably plays a quarter.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, too. Because
probably plays the first quarter.
No disrespect to him, just at his age, you're going to be concerned, right? And Jake Maier, you want him to be good just in case Trevor Harris gets injured. And Jake Maier has looked good. I've never been a Jake Maier fan, but he has looked good in the couple games he has played for Saskatchewan.
Very true. So it'll be interesting to see here with that one. And I think this Montreal-Winnipeg game, the goal is for both teams just not to get hurt.
Yeah.
Like for Winnipeg, I also think they do want to try to clean things up going into the playoffs. I think you're looking to see if Chris Streveler can actually throw a football or not.
Right, for sure.
So I even wonder, does Streveler get the whole game, or do they give that Troy Wilson a chance?
I'm going to be Streveler the whole game.
You want Streveler the whole game?
Yeah.
I do not. I think you've got to put in one of these other quarterbacks to see if they know how to throw a football or not.
Streveler can fall football.
He really can't, dude.
Not to. He was in the NFL, right? He's a good backup quarterback.
I think you really want to get Wilson some reps in there because I think you just want to see what he can do. Winnipeg, though, was resting a lot of players, including Zach Collaros, Brady Oliveira, Trey Valville, Pokey Wilson.
I guess Vancouver's going with the full lineup, eh?
Stanley Bryant, Willie Jefferson, Walters. There's a lot of guys that we're still no seeing Dylan Mitchell. I don't know what this team has against Dylan Mitchell personally.
I don't know. Maybe the Argos will sign him.
The Argos do not need any more wide receivers. But
that's very true.
At the end of the day, both of these teams are going to be running more of a backup team. But I'll be honest, I think Montreal will win this one because I think Montreal is just going to come out a bit more hungry. I think MBT has really something to prove because he's maybe even playing for a job for next year somewhere.
For sure, yep. I agree.
Although this might be MBT's last year in the CFL.
We'll see. I don't think he wants to end it on a bad note. I think BC's playing with full lineup, correct?
Yes, they are.
Yeah, so.
Well, it looks like Saskatchewan's playing quite a bit of a full lineup, so that could be an interesting game.
Yeah.
But also going on today, obviously, the Leafs play the Sabres again. Let's hope for a better outcome on that. Blue Jays World Series as the Blue Jays take on the Dodgers for Game 2.
Go, Jays, go.
We may try to pop on live even 10 or 15 minutes before the Jays game just to kind of get like some vibes on how everyone's feeling. But look, at the end of the day here for the CFL, I think it is cool, though, that it's coming right down to the final day to figure out exactly who's facing who.
Well, it does every year, right? We're not a huge surprise about that, but it's pretty cool to see.
But we know Saskatchewan, because you think about it, Saskatchewan is either facing Calgary, BC, or Winnipeg.
Mm-hmm.
Hamilton is either facing BC or Winnipeg. We don't know who's hosting the playoff semifinal in the West yet. Like, there is still a lot of questions, but obviously we'll have a much clearer picture. If Winnipeg loses against Montreal today, then they are the crossover team.
Are we going to Montreal for the semifinal playoff game?
Maybe, maybe not. Who the hell knows, Mr. Ticat fan? Wait, are you even your own favorite Ticat fan now?
Bobby?
Because Lane's not your favorite Ticat fan. So are you your own favorite Ticat fan, or is it still Rick from Hamilton Sports Central?
Oh, yeah, I'm not a Ticat fan per se. I just gotta give them credit for, pulling off the victory. They had a great year, right?
I will say, though, I think there's some concerns from Hamilton after that game against Ottawa, because I do think that game they probably should have won by like 40, like legitimately.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Hamilton's not perfect.
And there's also two
Saskatchewan's not perfect.
There's also two brutal snaps from the center that if that's a playoff game, those could have cost you the game. So Hamilton still has some things to clean up, but they get the bye week to do it. And Hamilton will finish with the second best record, more than like right now tied with second best record in the CFL of Calgary. So at the end of the day, BC's looking to jump that, but we will see, because I think it would help BC a lot going into the playoffs if they are the home seed versus the away seed, at least for the semifinals.
Yeah.
Because we saw Nathan Rourke at times struggled under pressure in the noise in the playoffs, right?
For sure.
And if the game's in Calgary, it's going to be very loud. I mean, if it's in BC, it's going to be very loud. I know Amar Doman knows how to throw a party.
Yeah, I'm curious what he's got up his sleeve. He's seen some pretty cool events going on at BC Place, like a car show and concerts and different things like that. So I'm curious what's up his sleeve if they get the home field, what's going to happen.
So the game at 3:00 to prevent the potential Eastern semifinal preview between Montreal and Winnipeg. Who are you taking, Dan?
For this game, I kind of liking Montreal.
I'm on the same side as you, but I think both teams are going to play a very basic game. I don't think we're going to see any trick plays.
I don't think we're going to see a high-scoring game, no.
And it's going to be, I'll be honest, I think this will be a very low-key game. Where
it's going to be a snooze fest.
BC Saskatchewan, I think, will be different because BC is still trying to get second in the West.
Yeah.
Right. So, but yeah, I'm also taking Montreal in this game. Look, I know Chris Streveler has a couple wins this season, but I'm just not confident in Chris Streveler to be able to put together a winning offense.
Mm-hmm.
Just because he can't really throw the ball.
Why exactly?
And Winnipeg lost all trust in him throwing the ball.
They have.
Oh, and Rick from Hamilton Sports Central, thank you very much for the update here. Tyler Sneed was a game-time decision for today's game, will not play, being replaced by Alex Hollins of the Montreal Alouettes.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
I will say for Montreal, if there's anyone who's a game-time decision, there's no point pushing them, right? Like, that's why we did see Jason Moss go back on what he said about playing Davis Alexander, that he said he's going to play no matter what. He's not a 5-year vet, blah, 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 blah. Ha, ha, ha. Just kidding. He's not going to play. And yes, MBT will actually, according to Third Down Nation, Rick, MBT is getting the start today.
Yeah.
So I don't think we're going to see Davis Alexander play at all today, personally. I mean, at least if I'm Jason Moss, I wouldn't. I just think MBT can move a football better than Chris Streveler. And that's kind of my...
Mr. Wick and Mr. Lane, I got to congratulate you two Ticat fans for winning the East. I'm wearing a Hamilton hat. So congratulations to you guys.
I will say, I do feel that Hamilton's got to be the heavy favorite in the East for the playoffs. And we will do a full playoff preview show. But Mike Tchaikovsky saying Jays in 4.
Oh!
He's calling for the broom.
Broom! Broom! Boom!
Hey, you know what, Mike? I hope you are right. I would love to see right now a Canadian team in America's game just blow the doors off.
I'd love for Jays. I hope they win the World Series, but the Dodgers is tough competition. But one thing that last night did prove, though, is maybe the Dodgers have the advantage of starting pitcher. However, we do have the advantage with the bullpen. I really believe that. Boom!
And just as a reminder to all sports fans, we all know our furry friends absolutely love watching sports with us. So we had a friend of the program, Tina, send in her beautiful dog, Holly, wearing the Jays jersey. Right there watching World Series Game 1. Also, shout out to friend of the program, Key, who this was her cat during the ALCS Game 4. So obviously, we all love our furry friends. When anyone has pictures of their pets during the games, make sure to go over to our Facebook page and send us the pictures as well, and we will feature them on our shows.
Yeah.
So friends, family, pets, and we want to see what you're doing on game day, because at the analyst desk, every day always feels like game day. So we always want to see what you're doing.
Oh, 100%.
But then who are you taking between the Lions and the Riders for the second game today, the nightcap?
Oh, I am actually going to go off the chart for me, I'm taking the Lions.
To me, it's a no-brainer. It's going to be the BC Lions, because I don't think Saskatchewan's going to play their full lineup for the full game. However, I will say Saskatchewan is very, very good defensively. It'll be very interesting to see if they can frustrate Nathan Rourke into maybe making some mistakes. The best thing for Saskatchewan would be to have Nathan Rourke having a bad game going into the playoffs, just to mess that psyche a little bit, right? So very interesting times here in the CFL. I know we're getting down to the end of the season, but these games still do matter, as Winnipeg is trying to avoid being the crossover team. Meanwhile, BC is still trying to hang on to their slim hopes to finish second in the West. Because then you might be asking, why would a team be avoiding crossover? And I think especially for Winnipeg, let's just look back at their last Grey Cup games. They've all lost to the East.
Exactly, yeah. 100%.
Right? You've lost to Toronto twice, Montreal once.
That's why I'm kind of surprised Winnipeg's not playing the full lineup.
This Hamilton team is 1,000 times better than what they were when they played Winnipeg before, and I think Winnipeg is worse. So, because I will say, as much as I was a little disappointed with Hamilton's offense at times this week, just not converting turnovers to touchdowns, that defense is so hungry to create turnovers that, like, I really think any team facing the Ticats this year is going to be in some trouble. They're a top-notch organization this season.
Yeah, exactly, 100%.
So, because I think that is the only thing for Winnipeg. I think they almost match up better. Funny enough, in a way, I think they may almost match up better going against like Calgary in the West. Like Calgary's beat them pretty well this season, but that doesn't mean you usually don't win every single game against a team, right? And I'm just looking at when was the last time a crossover team won the Grey Cup.
Oh, it's been a while.
I don't remember off the top of my head.
No, I can't either. I love seeing the fairy friends supporting the sports, by the way. So do you have a dog or a cat or maybe a different animal we're not thinking of that's supporting the Jays or any sports team, send it our way and we'll share it to the podcast here.
Even the Dodgers.
Yes.
So according to the CFLHubNews.com, there has never been a team that's crossed over to win the Grey Cup since they introduced that format.
Really? Wow. The Winnipeg could be the
if
first.
That is true, that's kind of my point to maybe. I don't know if Winnipeg's making the right decision by resting all these starters. I guess they feel they just want to hit the playoffs with fresh bodies, but I think teams are forgetting that Montreal under Davis Alexander is arguably the best team in the East. I say arguably because I think Hamilton's right there, but I mean it's a wide open day. But I do think today we are going to see. I think BC will pretty much run a full roster, and that'll be about it for the rest of those games. And quickly before we sign off, Dan, to watch these games, what's your take on the Leafs right now?
Oh, I am hitting the panic button like crazy. People are like, we're only 9 games in. Well, in an 82-game season, we're 10th of the way through the season. You're 10th way through the season. You're under 500. You're getting bulldozered by every team you're playing against because there's no tough guys whatsoever. Your goaltending's absolutely terrible. Your backup goalie just got back from his trip. You got no tough guys. Your defense are like minus like crazy. They put Philip Myers in the game last night. He was a -3, okay? You got Captain Underpants with 5 goals, point a game, okay? Willie Nylander's one bright spot, getting 14 points, second in the league in points. John Tavares, never bright spot, 10 points in 8 games. But, I mean, you're not getting much. My problem is you never replaced Mitch Marner from the offseason. You got this Marcelli dude that Jacob and Lane loved that's done absolutely nothing. He is hopeless. I don't know why you gave him a draft pick, and more importantly, $3.5 million of your cap space on nothing. It makes no sense to me whatsoever. Nicholas Waugh is looking good. I'm liking him. Even though Dakota Joshua starting off slow, he got a goal last night. He's big. He's physical. I'm liking him. I would like to see a little more ice time with Bobby McMahon. But another, because he's big and physical, but another hiccup is Nick Robinson. Again, he's done absolutely nothing. I dislike Nick Robinson last year. But this year, I'll get up my right side bed and give Nick Robinson another chance. He's still done nothing. So please, trade Marcelli and Nick Robinson for nothing. I don't care. Just get rid of them. Get $5+ million in cap space and go get a real top 6 forward. I don't know who's Elfer. I would be calling up the Calgary Flames. They're 1-7 right now. They're going to be hopeless. After that debacle in San Jose versus Vegas, maybe San Jose will finally admit that they're a rebuilding team. Call them up, get a forward from them. Call up Chicago, get a forward from them. I don't care where you get one, but get something going.
I gotta say, Dan, I'm gonna stop you right now because we're gonna take off in a minute, but I'm gonna give my 2 cents on this. I personally think the Leafs, they need better from all 3 phases. I think the offense needs to score more, but I don't think it's just all on Austin Matthews. Austin Matthews does have 5 goals in 8 games.
No, I'm not saying Austin Matthews' offense is not leading.
Dan, he's not leading. I didn't interrupt you. Sorry. Also, Mike Tchaikovsky, thank you very much for the like. And look, I just got to say, though, I feel like the defense is struggling as well. I don't think Brandon Carlo has really done what they wanted him to do since they traded for him. And Anthony Stolar, since calling out the team, has not had a game above a 90% save percentage. He's only even had, I think, 1 game all year.
2 all
with
year.
A good save percentage. Stolar's, I get he's tired. Berube said that, he was icing both his knees after the game against Buffalo. But all this has proven to me is that you need Anthony Stolar is just a good goalie when it's a tandem system, but he can't be your guy to play every night. So they better hope that Joseph Woll, he did rejoin the team, so hopefully he's back with them soon, and then maybe Woll can have a real impact on this team. And if not,
after that playoff one, I don't think so.
If not, then you just really got to hope that Caden Primo can get it done, or maybe then you look into bringing up Dennis Hill to be. Maybe you go to the trade market to look for teams that have decent goaltenders that aren't having great years. So it's really just all going to depend what you do from the Leafs from here. But the Leafs game is at 5:00 today start time for the Blue Jays because the Blue Jays start at 8. CFL did not move any of their game times today. However, they did for the semifinals game, bumping them both up an hour early because of the World Series. But loaded day today, CFL, with games that I would say the last one really does matter for BC. We have Leafs going on versus the Sabres. I think this is an important game just to kind of try to relax some people. I'll keep you updated on social media. As of right now, there's no update on if William Nylander is playing tonight or not. I will keep you updated.
Sure,
and, of course, the World Series at 8:00 tonight.
And
we'll try to pop on. We'll try to pop on before the World Series game to quickly give us some, get hyped.
And thanks to Key and Tina for sending in the fairy friends. I think that's awesome, and we'd like to see more of that.
Exactly. We always want to see the pets. But thank you very much for tuning into the Analyst Desk, where every day feels like game day. I'm Jacob Moore, the self-proclaimed sports analyst, joined by the coughing more for your money, who's choking like the Leafs.
Yeah, literally.
And until later today, Dan, I'm going to ask you on the spot. I think after the Jays game, we got to recap everything that happened today on Saturday with at least a half-hour post-day show.
Oh, 1,000%.
So we will be back after the Jays game to wrap up the Blue Jays, the Leafs, and the Canadian Football League season-ending games. And watch out for that playoff
NFL Sunday
show
tomorrow, too.
But watch out for that season. Plus, also, if you want to get a heads up on what's going to happen today, Dan and Lane jumped back into MLB The Show to preview how this game's going to go. Dan, don't you dare spoil it because people may not have watched it yet. So make sure you head over to our Facebook and YouTube and watch it. But of course, we still have tons of shows coming up for you. We're going to do the post games tonight. Plus, we will have later next week, the CFL playoff preview show. Plus, we still have to break down the Ottawa Red Blacks and the Edmonton Elks season the way we broke it down for the Toronto Argos.
That's right.
And, of course, NHL starting to kick into high gear. NFL's kicking into high gear.
The Philly Islanders have been a good game. It's on right now. We were watching that. It was a good game. The Philly and Islanders are on right now, and that was actually a very good game. We were watching that.
The Islanders and Flyers are tied
really good. Right now, the game's tied at 3-3 with under 4 minutes left in the third, so might see some potential overtime.
And what's interesting there, the Islanders really struggled to start the year. They've improved up to 4-3. Flyers struggled at the start of the year. They're 3-1. That's what I'm saying for Leaf fans. You know what? Just chill out.
Philly looks really good.
Let's not freak out about the season until maybe the start of November. And maybe at that point, we'll have to do a where our team's at episode at some point there too. But thank you very much for watching the Analyst Desk, where every day feels like game day. And we'll see you guys back later tonight. Enjoy all the sports today. October is the best time of year.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Tomato.